welcome to Dualshock'd. I am one of your hosts, Brett J. Rasmussen, and over here I got my other co-host.
Yeah, it's Spectre.
Yeah, what is up, my man? It has been a while.
I can never match your energy. It's like
I know.
you're just like booming, and like you need to be like you need to go for like a run or something. Like you're just always like fucking just like.
Well, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just running my mouth.
Running your mouth. Oh yeah, that's what
that's why I'm here. I'm just running my mouth. That's how I get my exercise. That's not doing this. But it's been a while, man.
I was gonna say it's been a long time. It's been at least like 5 or 6 months.
It's been since E3.
So yeah, it's been like 5 or 6 months.
E3.
Yeah, we're in November. So yeah, it's been a while.
I mean, it's not like we haven't like hung out and talked to each other. We haven't been here.
We don't associate outside of this.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Spectre? What are you talking about? Okay.
But yeah, it has been a while. I was just about to say a lot happened, but I caught myself.
Well, a lot has changed.
A lot has changed.
I mean, look at what we got here. This is great.
Newish set.
Yeah.
Kind of. We're getting there. We're starting to move up slightly.
Yeah.
Incremental upgrades here.
Just building that up, but it's great, and a lot of things have changed since E3. So
well, and you have, of course, you have some big news to share.
What?
Congratulations on your vagina. The surgery was a success.
Shut up! I don't even know where that even came from. What are you even talking about?
I'm just saying, I think we have to acknowledge you're a strong, independent woman now. And it's going to bring a new energy to the show. And it's going to inject this, your femininity into this. So it's going to be interesting to see that dynamic in play.
Why? I don't like. What are you just going to go ahead and be in a hat on? Like, please, just no. Let's get to the point that while we're here for video games, PlayStation, all that kind of good stuff. So what has been going on, Spectre? What has been going on?
Talk about European history, but okay, video games. Video games. Well, my whole life has been absorbed in Fallout. Naturally, it's one of my favorite franchises, of course.
Very nice.
We just had a new Fallout game come out about a week and a half-ish ago, and it's suffice to say it's polarizing.
Yeah.
I don't want to launch into a review of it or anything, but there's definitely those that are quite disappointed, and there's those that are maybe see some of the silver linings in it. So I like I said, I don't want to launch into that too much. I'd like to do a formal review of it. I'm about 40-ish hours in right now, so I played a lot of it. But for a game of this size and scope, Fallout game, I mean, you really want to throw in to give it an honest review. Probably at least complete the main story, which I'm close to being done with.
Yeah.
And put a good 70 plus hours into it. It's a Fallout game. It's it needs that investment in for you to really understand it and understand all the mechanics and everything in the game. You can't just play it for 5 hours and be like, okay, I got it. So I will get a formal review on that eventually. But yeah, that's really been consuming all of my time. I also dabbled a little bit in a nice, lovely little remake they had. Oh, not a remake, a re-release, I should say, of Symphony of the Night.
Oh yes, Castlevania.
Castlevania Requiem on PlayStation.
Yeah. So
it's nice to play those classics again. I'm a big Castlevania fan, so that's great.
I like that.
But what have you been up to?
Woo! It's definitely been very busy for me. Outside of doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff here for the Brotherhood. I have also been playing a lot of different video games. So I
playing the videos.
Yes, of course. Yes. I have been replaying through the remastered versions of Darksiders. So I've already re-platinumed Darksiders 1. I have been on and off playing Darksiders 2 and going for my platinum run there. But the reason why that has been on and off is because I beat Spider-Man. I went ahead and beat Marvel's Spider-Man, which is so good. So good. That game is great.
To give my one sentence review, as a non-superhero fan, I mean, it was better than I expected. I won't talk about it anymore. I don't want to give her I'm not launching into review tangents left and right.
Yeah, I know.
But much better than I expected, as that's coming from a definite non-fan of Spider-Man and superheroes in general.
Okay, so, but like, let me ask you this. You're not a fan of the comic book, so the whole storyline, because it's like, that kind of really didn't catch you.
I don't touch comics.
Like, the combat, the traversal, you had a good time with it.
I had a good time with it. It's a very, just aesthetically, it's a very pretty game. It handles very well. The controls, just moving through the city and traversing around, you feel like Spider-Man. You feel like you're swinging around and running through the city. The combat actually, I can say I'm giving a mini review now. Fuck it. So the combat very fluid, really well done. I'd say it's better than Batman. It felt more organic and like things flow a little bit better. I guess between the hits and everything, it was a little bit smoother. Where Batman felt like more, it's like okay, hit. Stop,
I think it's
hit. It was like beats to it.
Well, but
this is more like just flows.
I mean, everyone goes, "Oh, it's just like Batman Arkham." I'm like, no.
It's definitely inspired by.
It's inspired by it, yes, but it's
less charitable. People would say, stole some things from Batman, but.
Yeah. But like, Batman Arkham set the standard for kind of all superhero games and then this isn't just like, oh, we just ripped off Batman. No, like, it's a Spider-Man game, and the way the combat.
We ripped off Batman in other games too. So I mean, it's when you throw enough, if you steal enough things and you throw it all together into a big ball, it kind of becomes something new. So,
okay.
So, like I said, looks gorgeous. The story, I mean, if you're a Spider-Man fan, I'm sure it's entertaining. For me, I couldn't really follow it. One thing that was just completely unforgivable for me, major flaw in the game. I don't know what they were thinking from a design perspective, if they tested this at all. The levels where you're forced out of Spider-Man and into
when you have to play as the story missions where you have to play as Mary Jane and Miles Morales.
Mary Jane and kid, I can't remember his name.
Miles Morales.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. Yeah, Morales.
Miles Morales.
Yeah. So, but both of them play exactly the same. MJ and that, but I mean, it just the pacing just grinds to a halt. I know why they put it in there. They wanted to variety of gameplay, blah blah blah. But the side activities and the missions themselves are already different enough where you don't really need to have that. It just feels like the game grinds to a halt. It has really terrible, awful, just like borderline like PlayStation 1 stealth mechanics to it. It's really, really bad. Those sections are completely unforgivable, and pretty much everyone complains about those sections. They don't really need to be there at all. They don't add anything to the story, really. So just, I don't know what they were thinking. Just pads out the game a little bit, I guess.
I personally did like it. I liked how different it was, but yes, I will say there were times where I would be trying to sneak, and I'm like, what? Come on! Like, I get it.
Like imagine a fucking Superman game where you play as Lois Lane. Like, come the fuck on, really? It's just no, just don't do it. Just don't do it, please. Like, at least when you're playing as what the fuck is Batman's girlfriend? Like Catwoman or whatever. Like in the Batman games or whatever. At least she's basically a reskinned Batman. You can at least fight shit and have fun, and it's similar to the main game. Like where this is just like it's so jarringly like you go from the freedom of playing as Spider-Man and jumping around and flying around like crazy and having fun, to just being like, just this, normal, twat and some dumb kid. And it really slows any fun or momentum you have. So I just don't like, I think it's just, for the inevitable sequel, please get rid of those.
Okay.
Please.
Yeah.
But overall, like I said, pretty good, especially like as a non-fan, I would say it's worth checking out.
Yeah. So playing that, so there's that. I'm playing.
Darksiders.
Yep, because Darksiders 3 came out actually today as of recording, the 27th. So that's a game.
Finally.
That's my game. Like, I love Darksiders. I've been waiting for Darksiders.
The one thing I wanted and I thought was missing from Darksiders was I couldn't play as a woman. I completely ruined the experience.
All right.
Darksiders.
Okay, Spectre. Okay, all right.
So now they fixed that problem, and it will be a much better game.
All right, okay, Spectre. All right, I appreciate your opinion, Spectre. So I mean, I've been kind of going maneuvering in and out of a lot of different games. Um, been playing some Red Dead 2, which wow, that game is pretty. Holy crap, that game is really pretty. And it's
I really got to pick it
realistic.
up eventually. I sort of liked Red Dead 1. I like a Western. I love the story of that game. But yeah, I just got to get around to it. I mean, it's like Fallout just kind of like sucks me in.
No, I mean, but like that's your jam, and that's okay. We'll kind of get into that because there's a lot of news and a lot of things dealing with
Definitely,
that. But we'll get into that. But yeah, that's kind of what's been going on with me. But it's been very busy between E3 and now, and we're kind of going through into the near the end of the year. So
it's a busy holiday season after all the releases.
Yep. So
Post Black Friday.
Yep. So it'll be very interesting. Game of the Year nominees and awards and all that kind of good stuff.
Yep. Game Awards. It's hard to believe that it's still going. I mean, I think they're up to like, was it down to like 10 people watching it now? But they're still there. It's still going. I give them credit. You know, it's just. I mean, I think it's going to be to the point where we have more viewers than they do. It's
wow, Spectre! It's just coming out there, just like
I'm just like admittedly it's the same thing with like the Oscars and the Emmy Award. It's like who the fuck watches this stuff anymore?
Well, I mean, people do, and there's more than 10 people watching. But I know you're
not enough to fill a baseball.
Well, shut up. You're being facetious. But anyway, okay. But let's go ahead and move on. Let's go into our first segment. News of the Nation. This is our news segment. This is when we kind of talk about what has been happening within the past week or so.
We can get some actual sound effects for that.
Oh, I'm aware. I know. Don't worry. But I just had fun doing it anyway. So this is where we go ahead and talk about any news that has come out for PlayStation or in the video game industry. So Spectre, let's begin with you. What do you got for me?
Well, imagine this. I want to talk about Fallout more.
Oh my God! You want to talk about Fallout? What?
Woo! Yeah. We actually had some news drop today. So this is fresh, hot off the presses.
Okay.
Of course, like I said, I don't want to get into a review of Fallout, but suffice it to say, there's been some complaints, and I have some criticisms with the game.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems that Bethesda, at least initially, they're trying to maybe right the ship in some ways and try to fix some common complaints.
Mm-hmm.
They started off with a giant ass update. We're talking 47 gigabytes, and that's larger than most games. They had that as a big performance update that they just came out with last week.
Mm-hmm.
And they detailed 2 updates they're going to have for December, at least 2 updates. And those are going to address some pretty common criticisms. One being that right now, I mean, because it's in a Fallout game, and like most Bethesda games, you can grab everything that's not nailed down. You grab literally everything off the fucking shelf because it could be useful to crafting or whatever in the game.
Yeah.
And a common complaint has been that you don't really have enough space in your inventory and in your stash that you have.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like Bethesda, I mean, before this was a non-issue because you could just throw as much shit in those things as you wanted to for Fallout 4 and 3 or whatever. But now it's because it's an online game, they have limited resources, the server can only keep track of so much, so the stash has a limit to it.
Yeah.
They're going to up the limit, and they're looking at long-term solutions to make it even larger. Because I'll tell you, having, like I said, I'm not, there's no max level, but I'm having played through a lot of it so far, I've been having to, throw out shit, and it's difficult to manage the inventory. It feels like you're fighting for your inventory more than the fucking, creatures half the time.
Yeah.
So it's nice that they're addressing that. A lot of quality of life updates they're doing, just to help with stability. One thing I like is they are giving an option to kind of respec your special stats because
I heard that was a big problem when it first came out.
Yeah,
it was respec.
It was. And part of it is too that you don't really know which perks and which special stats are important until the end game. So you're kind of.
Is there an end game? I heard again. Okay, so first of all, I haven't even played Fallout 76 because I've Fallout. I like Fallout. I enjoy Fallout, but I'm not as much of a hardcore fan as he is.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I mean, like I said, yeah. So when you get to the end game portion of the game, there's dozens and dozens of perks you can pick, and not all of them are created equal. Some of them are completely fucking useless, and are actually literally useless because they're bugged or they just don't do anything. And other ones are like a huge boost, and they're like just instrumental for you actually being like good, and viable in end game. So it's difficult to know which ones are good for when you're first starting out. So having the ability to respec is a nice option. So I mean, like I said, they're improving on some of these things. It's a small start. I mean, the game, it's just a few weeks old right now. So I mean, it's going to be something kind of like, this all reminds me of when I was fucking defending Battlefront. It's the same thing where it's like, it's not as bad as everyone says it is, and it's a work in. You have to think the game more so as like a work in progress, almost like an MMO, where like like World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft vanilla is almost a completely different game than World of Warcraft present day. So I mean, the game evolved.
What was World of Warcraft when it first came out? Was it as buggy as Fallout 76 at launch, like right now?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Way worse. Way worse.
Really?
I played World of Warcraft.
Oh man.
Oh god, yes. It was to the point where we actually got free game time because we couldn't play. So World of Warcraft, we had good example to pick on.
Okay.
Not that Fallout doesn't have performance issues, extreme performance issues in many cases, but I mean, from what I've encountered so far, and I've encountered quite a few glitches and problems on Fallout, it's still better than World of Warcraft's launch. So that's kind of the low benchmark to go by, or even like Battlefield 3 or 4's launch, which were basically unplayable. So I mean, there are worse launches in the history of gaming. Believe me, I've experienced a lot of them. So, but yeah, so that's some of the latest news right now. So it's clear. I mean, what the message, the takeaway from this is, they're acknowledging that there's problems. That's what the gist of their message was, and they're trying to do some things to fix it. They're not stupid. They can read Metacritic. Obviously, they can see what the reaction has been, and they know that people aren't happy. And it's the nice thing is a lot of the criticisms that the game is receiving, a lot of it can be fixed and improved on over time. Some things you can't. If you don't like the concept of it, you're just not gonna like the concept of it. But a lot of it can be improved on over time. The game is not essentially fundamentally broken, I would say.
I mean, there from what I've seen, there's a lot of problems with it. From what
one more point on that.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, I haven't seen any kind of backlash. I mean, I'm sure it's out there, but and I've read most of the reviews for it. I haven't seen any backlash really against the microtransactions.
I believe that the it sucks, but like the microtransactions, at least not yet, they really haven't impeded on anything of gameplay. Mind you, I think people are more mad about, people are getting a little bit frustrated so the way PvP works in the game is that if you and me are on a map and I shoot you, but you don't fire back at me, nothing happens. You take no damage, all that kind of stuff.
No, I would still take damage.
Really?
It'd just be like a very it's like a 95% reduction. But I would still take damage.
Oh, okay. Well, like once you fire back, then my gun will do the full damage that it's supposed to do on a normal enemy.
Yeah, but I mean, redirecting back to the microtransactions though, I think part of the reason why is they are purely cosmetic. They don't do anything in the game that really tangibly changes your character. And for the most part, I mean, the game is very generous in terms of how it gives you the currency. It's called atoms.
Yeah.
And you get them for different challenges in the game. The game is actually pretty generous. I was actually able to buy a few things in the shop. Just with, I haven't spent a dime on the game in terms of buying atoms. I bought the big crazy fucking collector's edition, which I like, which I wish I would have done the unboxing of because actually it's really well done. But in terms of the in-game shop, I've only purchased things with my earned atoms, and I'm pretty satisfied with it so far. It doesn't get in the way. Do I love the concept of it? No. But it's not like, oh, this is ruining the fucking game.
Okay, because again, I haven't played it, but from what I've been seeing in reviews and reading about it, it is definitely split. Like, so for instance, out of my friend group, like a lot of them actually are in the same boat as you, is that they are enjoying, not love, but they are enjoying their time in Fallout 76. They are having a good time with it. They're not mad at it. Yes, they have their gripes with it, with all the bugs and the glitches and the game breaking parts of it. They are just as mad about it, but they're enjoying the time that they have, whether they're playing with friends or whatever. I don't know. It's very polarizing, and I'm hearing both ends of my. It seems like that both sides, whether you like it or you hate it, are going. The game breaking parts of it, where you can what are some of the game breaking parts of it? I'm sorry.
There's tons of it. I can speak on this. I mean, just in general, in terms of server stability. There's been a lot of times where I've just been out of the server. I've encountered errors where I'm playing on the PlayStation 4 Pro, by the way. Mm-hmm. So that just to give your mileage may vary based on your system that you're playing on. But I've run into tons of different freezing issues, stuttering issues with the frame rate, especially when there's a lot of people in one area.
Yeah.
There's a multitude of different kind of bugs and kind of, you could say, exploits that are in the game right now. Mm-hmm. I saw one where you can essentially double your stats.
I heard that one guy just hit God mode where he can't die.
A good example, yeah, stuff like that. The bug I'm thinking of is kind of a lesser version of that. But stuff like that. And some of it can get really annoying, especially there's been a couple of occasions where it's actually kind of really interfered with my enjoyment of any story or just the flow of gameplay. I mean, there's one time where anytime you die in the game, there's no real consequence to dying in the game aside from you drop all of your junk, which is your crafting materials. Mm-hmm. There was one unfortunate situation I ran into so far where I was in this area and there was a whole bunch of fucking cars all around, and the cars in the Fallout world are nuclear powered. So whenever one blows up, it has a mini nuclear explosion, and it's a big, huge effect.
Yeah.
So I was in this area. There's other people in the area too, and they were fighting me because I, initiated wanted and everything and all this stuff. And I started a fight with them, and I forgot I had all my junk on me because I was transferring it from one place to the other. Into just to sell it and stuff like that or whatever, something like that. Mm-hmm. I had a whole bunch of junk on me, all my junk that I needed, and I essentially lagged out in the middle of the fight. Once there was this big cascade effect, all these cars exploding. Lagged out, booted out of the game, logged back in. Turns out my character died, somewhere along the lines, and I wasn't able to go back. And I tried to go back to the spot where I thought I died. But I couldn't even find, there's a little brown paper bag that's supposed to have all your stuff in it. I couldn't find that, so I lost a shit ton of junk. And I was just oh my fucking God. And I was about to craft a quest item so I could continue on in the main quest and everything. I was just oh my God. So that really pissed me off. Couple of occasions like that where it just, it kind of gets in the way of your enjoyment. But I mean, your mileage will vary on it. Some people probably have it way worse. But I mean, that was probably the most egregious problem I can have.
I don't know. I mean, I'm glad. I mean, again, Bethesda's working on it, but man, it's when Bethesda said that they were doing an MMO, they.
Oh yeah, I hated the idea of it. I was not a fan of Elder Scrolls Online.
Mind you, this is done by Bethesda Software, so it's not I know you don't like Elder Scrolls Online, but at least, when it first came out, it wasn't buggy. It just there were problems with it. With Elder Scrolls Online, this is buggy to no end, and this is made by Bethesda Softworks, which a lot of this just seems like they just all right, we got to put out a Fallout game. Come on, we need to put out another game. This was rushed out.
I was from the announcement of this, I was very cynical about this. I don't think this was. I still am cynical about it. I don't see this as a multiplayer experiment, as Todd Howard was suggesting. I see this as, hey, we're going to have a Fallout 5 eventually down the road somewhere, whether that's 2019, 2020, most likely, something like that, or even beyond that. It's going to come. We got to have something in between. So what can we do? What's something that we could put out cheaply? Okay, well, we have the engine. We're using the same engine we had for Fallout 4. We'll make the world larger. We don't have to write, put any NPCs in the game. We don't have to write these, we still have to write stories and everything, but it's not as complicated. And we'll throw in multiplayer because Fallout 4 was originally gonna, possibly have multiplayer.
Yeah.
So it seems like a cash grab, and honestly, I think they could have avoided this they could have gone two different routes.
No.
In an alternate universe here, alternate timeline. What they could have done is they could have made Fallout 76 a traditional single-player Fallout game, and taken the existing quests that we have right now and sparked them and jazz them up.
So have Fallout 76 pretty much be like a New Vegas.
Like it's kind of like a New Vegas type of game, exactly. Okay. Add NPCs to it, make it a regular story, which I think could have easily been done. Throw another 6 to 8 months of development at it, and add all these NPCs and take out the multiplayer, shed. I think that would have been more well received. Or if you want to go maximum lazy, the laziest route, we had a 10th anniversary for Fallout 3 recently. So just re-release Fallout 3. Just like you re-release Skyrim on every goddamn thing out of the way.
Yeah.
Just re-release Fallout 3. Fallout 3, it's in that perfect spot where it's just old enough so you can still remember playing it, but it's like I can't remember everything about it. Dude. It's like Oblivion. Like, why haven't we gotten a remake of Oblivion yet?
Because Skyrim. I would like to see Oblivion, but Skyrim really broke out of the fan base and really just hit mainstream because of how
streamlined and dumbed down.
Streamlined, dumbed down. Well, you say dumbed down. I streamlined, whatever. But Fallout 3 is in the same place as Skyrim. People still remember. They go, "Oh man, Fallout 3, that was so good," or New Vegas, the story of that, or whatever. And each Fallout fan will say something different, but it's always those two. Both people say good things about both of them. So if they went ahead and remastered Fallout 3 and just here you go, Xbox One, PS4.
You think that'd be the easiest thing?
Oh my God, that would just print out money.
$40 and it would print money, and it wouldn't have this big PR disaster.
Oh yeah.
Because this is going to throw umbrage on the company. This isn't like the first time that Bethesda's ever screwed up, but it's now it's kind of like a Battlefront 2 situation where it's bad press, it's bad PR.
Oh, mind you, people knew Bethesda games are always buggy because they've been using an engine that has been made since 1996 that's just been rebuilt on top of itself since then. So when bugs would happen in Skyrim or Fallout 3 or Fallout 4 or whatever it would be, you're like, "Oh, Bethesda, oh, that dragon flying backwards, oh, that's cute, that's cool." Or the one where you're in Skyrim and then you're on a horse and all of a sudden you're all the way in the middle of you're just in the air.
Yeah, they're known for this.
So and that was when the modders come in, and that's why they're okay with it because hey, modders, and they're really a PC company, and that's fine. I have no problem with that. But now,
that's the other downfall of 76 is that there is really no modding element to it, just by the nature of it.
How are you supposed to do that? That's exactly the problem. So, with all of this, with them rushing the game out, rushing the game out with all of the bugs and everything, people who were we love Bethesda now are I don't know, man. I don't know. This is bad, and now people are on their hind foot when it comes to the new game because Bethesda has announced that they're going to be continuing to use the creation engine for Elder Scrolls 6 and
Starfield.
Which Jesus.
Admittedly, in some ways it does work really well too, though. Bugs aside, it does work well in other ways too. But I think I don't see 76 as some kind of grand betrayal from my perspective as a general fan of Bethesda. I'm not about to boycott them. I'm not going to pull an EA where I don't like I said, refuses to buy.
Well, because with in your case at least, and it's kind of the same with me, is that there have been multiple games that both of us have given our shots to, and for you it was with Battlefield 5. For me it was with Battlefront 2, and like there have just been
China.
Whatever. Shut up. There have been just too many games that have been making us mad.
I'm curious to see how.
It's like, I mean, mind you, the sales for Fallout 76 have not been good. That game went on sale for $40. Like what? Within a week or two?
Yeah,
within a week.
Oh yeah.
Like god dang it.
See, the problem with all these numbers now though is they'll say like physical sales are down, but they're down across the board for like everything. It's because it's not factoring in like digital sales, which have become just more and more and more popular. But yeah, I see like this right here. The first thing I found: Battlefield 5 physical sales down more than half on Battlefield 1. So
But if you look at physical sales. Like if they're looking at only physical sales, that's still bad.
That's the problem. Is we need better metrics for analyzing.
I get it, but like the metrics, like just I believe they're only using physical sales. So like if you even if physical sales are down, just period, 50% whatever Battlefield 1 sold, how many copies? Half of that has been sold for Battlefield 5. That's a big gap. So that's a big thing, but. Anyway, I don't know. I mean, I think for me, I actually do want to grab Fallout 76. I wouldn't pay full price for it. I would probably.
We don't have to. It's already.
I know, but like, I've been very much on my hind foot just because I've been hearing both sides. Like you and my friends are enjoying it, but then a lot of other people are hearing are having the problems with it, and everyone who's having problems with it are also the people who are enjoying it don't like those problems. And I don't know, I would be extremely mad if all of a sudden I got all this gear and then I just glitch out and then die and then get kicked out and then all the stuff that I work for. Like I would just go, well, I'm done. I can't do that, and that's like.
Yeah, no, I mean it's incredibly frustrating. I mean to have those kind of experiences, those moments. It wasn't enough to kick me, away from the game, and I was able to build back up to that point. But yeah, I mean it's I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to give a review of it, but
no, I get you.
It's yeah, I'd say especially if you can find it for lower than its normal retail price. Pick it up. It's at least give it a try.
Yeah. Next, I know this is pretty much going to be your segment because I want to move on to BlizzCon. BlizzCon happened about a month ago, about from the time recording.
A little bit less than a month ago.
Yeah, a little bit less than a month ago. And what was the takeaway from there? Really, I mean, there's more to it, but really the big thing is Diablo Immortal.
You see, that's another. I see like that. That's another controversy. I mean, that was over and done within a day. I mean, everyone saw it. It's what it reminds you. It reminds you of the Command and Conquer mobile game. Remember that from E3?
Oh yeah, when we were like, "What is this?"
But what happened was everyone got up in it and like, oh, everyone got sand in their they got sand in their vagina for a day about it, and they're like, oh my god, this is the worst thing ever. I can't believe they would do this. And then a week later, everyone stopped talking about it and forgot about it. And then now I think the Command & Conquer game is actually being released soon, and no one's going to care. It's a controversy. Same with Diablo Immortal.
Catch me up to speed. Catch me up to speed. What happened? Because I know you watch BlizzCon. I've just kind of been hearing little bits and pieces. So catch me up to speed. What happened at BlizzCon?
I think the disappointment comes more so from there was an expectation, and even though this was they basically hinted that hey, there wasn't going to be a Diablo 4 announcement, right?
So then tell me what did they do at BlizzCon? Like what happened? Tell me, Spectre.
I'm getting into it. Okay. Yeah. So rumors were swirling early on before BlizzCon, as they always do, about maybe they're going to announce a new Diablo game. It's been so long since 3 came out. Maybe we'll get a new game. And then Blizzard actually kind of addressed that and said no, this because they saw promotional items that said no, there's not going to be a new they basically came right out and said there's not going to be a new mainline game right now at least.
Yeah.
And then they came out and BlizzCon happened. They announced Diablo Immortal. It's a mobile game. I mean, we didn't get a ton of information about it really, but essentially the reaction was universally
Hated.
it just was universally reviled. It was everyone hated it essentially.
Yep.
Like, oh my god, I can't believe this.
You have the famous meme of the guy coming out. Is this a glorified April Fool's joke?
Exactly, yeah. But so I mean, so the reaction was very negative, extremely negative.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like I said, weeks have passed now, and no one's really talking about this anymore. I don't see anyone talking about Diablo Immortal anymore. It's like I said, it's kind of one of those things where it just like blew like, oh my god, I can't believe this. Like, why would you announce this, shitty mobile title and not announce a new Diablo game? And everyone was mad for 24 hours, and then it just.
I mean, I would say longer than that, but
about 24 hours. Besides, the same BlizzCon though, we got some spectacular news. What stole the show for me, my takeaway was not Diablo Immortal. Who gives a fuck about Diablo Immortal? Nobody does. My takeaway was we're finally, at long last, getting a Warcraft 3 remaster.
Oh yeah,
looks gorgeous.
I can't wait for that.
I watched some of the full gameplay demos and missions that were some of the streamers were doing. Looks gorgeous. Looks fantastic. I can't wait. It's coming in 2019 sometime. They were extremely vague about it. Sometime 2019. But it's going to be a complete remaster of Warcraft 3 and the expansion, the Frozen Throne. It looks just absolutely glorious.
Yeah.
So that was my takeaway, and then of course they had their usual shit about, oh, here's a new some new Overwatch fucking skin or whatever, blah blah blah. I don't follow Overwatch. Hearthstone expansion, as they always announce a Hearthstone expansion. I love Hearthstone. But yeah, I mean, my big takeaway, like I said, I don't give a fuck about Diablo Immortal, and nobody does. I think everyone that I talked to has been excited for Warcraft 3. Everyone remembers that game. I think Warcraft 3 and the brand that was built up was a big reason behind the success of World of Warcraft.
Oh yeah.
And speaking of World of Warcraft, that was the other big pillar of news for BlizzCon. We finally got a demo of Warcraft Classic. So that's also going to be, I believe it's going to be coming in 2019 as well. So vague 2019.
Okay.
And we learned that your subscription to World of Warcraft will work for both current World of Warcraft and for Classic. So it's one subscription. It looks pretty solid. It goes back to the glory days of WoW, and it's what it's going to be. It's going to be WoW as it was in about 2007 or 2008 or so. I think the time frame they picked. And it was just before Burning Crusade, essentially. They're going to slowly release main raids and dungeons, and that looks great too. So really, that's the big news. Was WoW Classic looks like it's going along really well. It's going to be coming out soon, and we're going to get this awesome remaster of Warcraft 3. That was, I think, the big takeaway. So you look at the positives of BlizzCon. Like I said, Diablo Immortal. I think everyone, they dialed it up to 11 for that moment. They're like, oh my god, this is the worst thing ever. But everyone's going to forget about it. Like I said, I think everyone's kind of forgotten about it already. Especially when we inevitably get a Diablo 4 announcement, probably sometime in 2019, most likely. Yeah. And everyone will just kind of forgotten about this at that point.
Yeah, I mean,
same with I mentioned Command & Conquer. That's kind of already been forgotten too, because now we have some positive news come out of EA where they announced that there's going to be a remaster of classic Command & Conquer, Tiberium Dawn, 1995. And Red Alert. So it's like, who gives a fuck about the mobile game anymore?
Yeah.
Everyone's focused on the
game. I think I would say because I'm not that's why I wanted to bring it up to you, because I know you follow Blizzard and you follow.
That's what's kind of in a nutshell.
Yeah. When I heard about Warcraft 3, when I saw that trailer, I remember.
I know you can appreciate that.
Oh, I World of Warcraft. I never really got into because I love.
You got friends. But
no, it's honestly, what I loved about Warcraft 3 is that was my first RTS. That was my first real-time strategy game, and I fell in love with the Warcraft lore and the story and the gameplay of it. So then when I played Warcraft 3, and then they were like, "Oh, World of Warcraft! It's a RPG, MMORPG," and I'm like, "What?" And that it never appealed to me back in the day in 2008. I've always been like, should I get in? I don't know. I might because of the Warcraft original that's happening, World of Warcraft original that's happening. But again, that's besides the point. when I heard about that, I was so excited about Warcraft 3 Remastered, Reforged, whatever they call it. But like everyone was just talking about Diablo Immortal, and
I think it was just like, it was over and done with.
Well, like here's the thing. People, I understand why people are mad about it, and honestly, I think they have the right to, because I like Diablo. I love just kind of faffing away some time on my PS4 playing Diablo 3. Like, I love that stuff. Just go ahead and just go through a dungeon, kill hordes of enemies and stuff. What people are upset about is that, one, it's a mobile game. So that you announced this big mobile game at a place that pretty much your PC master race, all the fans are there. Like, this is a PC audience. This is not you have some console fans there, but this is a PC crowd. That's who's there. And you will go ahead and announce a mobile game there. I understand the fan outrage. Now, was it a bit much? Yeah. Because even the head developer, he was like, when he was about to announce the game, he kind of was not stumbling, but he was pretty much on guard, going, okay, here's this.
Internally,
this. He was like, okay, here we go, and Diablo Immortal, and there wasn't really an applause. It was just it was really quiet, and then
I get it. Diablo fans, which I am a Diablo fan too. It's been a tough, 8-9 years now, or a decade or more so now. When did Diablo 2 come out? That was the last big high of the series.
Yeah.
Diablo 3,
I didn't play Diablo 2, but
Diablo 3 was a major step down from 2. The glorious 2 in Diablo 2, which was the high point of the series.
Mm-hmm.
And Diablo 3, major step backwards. Got a little bit better over time. But
when it first came out, there were problems with it. That was when
tons of problems.
Air 37, the auction warehouse where they wanted to have microtransactions in, that they had to take that out because that was never going to fly.
Dumb down the talent system for the unwashed masses, so they could play it too on their controllers and consoles. Like I said, it was built from the ground up for consoles. Which was a bad idea.
No, okay, fine. I understand you. I would only play Diablo on my PS4. I would have never touched that game, dude.
It was, to compare, it would be Diablo 2 is to Oblivion as Diablo 3 is to Skyrim. It's the dumbed down version of it. Still fun in a lot of ways, but it was a step back.
I get it.
And then now it's okay, well, maybe they'll do better in Diablo 4, and it's instead of getting Diablo 4, now we're getting this announcement of this shitty mobile game.
Oh, this mobile game, which they said that they're working with NetEase. NetEase is the partial developer or the full developer for the game, and all they have been doing is just ripping off Diablo. All their non-Diablo games look like Diablo, operate like Diablo, just not in name. So now it has that. So people are mad about that. There's microtransactions in there, and Blizzard has hasn't been really forthcoming with how does this game work? How does it play? What happens? Stuff like that. They kind of insulted their fan base. The guy who said, "Is this an elaborate April Fool's joke?" And then the developers up there who were pretty much just sent to the sheep for the horde, sheep for the slaughter. The developers up there was like, "Oh, well, do you have a phone? I think everyone here has a phone, doesn't, or whatever it is." It was very condescending, and I get it. They're trying to gather anything they could, pick up any scraps they could to salvage this, but this was not going to be salvaged at all. And I get it. Yeah, it happened about almost a month, a little less than a month ago, and now it's not in the zeitgeist now. But also the game hasn't hit. I bet when the game hits mobile, people are going to be talking about it again. Now, speak with your wallet. That's the only way that these companies will ever listen, because especially with Blizzard, it's Blizzard Activision, and
I mean, it's kind of the formation almost of a trend of just dumbing it down. It's like, okay, we dumbed it down with Diablo 3. Now let's dumb it down even further for a phone.
So that way,
casualize it even more to try to hit max market impact.
And mind you, like it does. It does. You know, you can like everyone goes ahead and spends a few minutes or an hour or whatever on their phone, playing a little game when they're waiting for the bus or the train or the plane or whatever. Planes, trains, and automobiles.
That's a great movie.
I know. But
you would definitely be John Candy.
Oh, I know I would. Yeah. I know it would be John Candy.
I'd be the Steve Martin, just utterly bemused by everything you do.
I'm aware. Oh, that's why you're here.
Cringing on a primordial level.
That's why I'm here. That's why I enjoy doing this. It's only to make you cringe. I love it, Spectre. But anyway, I guess I wish that
to wrap this.
Yeah.
To wrap this up, just push it from your mind. Don't think about it.
And if you don't care, don't play it and speak with your wallet.
Yeah, don't play it. Don't download it. Just pretend it never exists. Just move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Wait for the Diablo 4 announcement, the inevitable Diablo 4, and pray that they finally move in the. It's not some casualized garbage just like Diablo. It probably will be, but hopefully they have a little bit more heart and they actually try to craft a better product, not just some shitty casualized console garbage. So.
Yep. Just a few other things, and then we'll go into our main topic. Just a few other things. Red Dead Online has launched on November 27th, which would be today, with a Battle Royale mode for it.
Of course.
Well, I mean, but they already said that they were going to do it. I'm
convinced the next Sims game is going to have a Battle Royale.
I mean, I wouldn't
at this point. It's like
I wouldn't be surprised. Fans are writing a petition to Bethesda to put Grandma in Elder Scrolls 6, which is, have you ever seen that old lady who plays Skyrim? Elder Scrolls 5? She's a streamer. It's like she's in her 70s
I try to
or
stay
80s.
away from normie shit on...
She's just this a little old lady who loves
Is it some
Skyrim.
kind of marketing streamer?
No, her
She doesn't love Skyrim. It's
Shirley Curry.
It's some stick to confuse.
No, she's an ADT. Shirley Curry. I'm sorry. Shirley Curry is a popular Skyrim streamer. Elder Scrolls fans want her immortalized as a character in the next Elder Scrolls 6. Curry said that the game's far off release window pretty much puts the nail in her coffin, literally. That's what she said. Quote, puts the nail in my coffin, literally, end quote. So fans have created a petition to Bethesda to put her into the game, which
I'm sure they will. They have a huge boner for putting every little reference they possibly can in the game. So I'm sure they will.
Yep. And Fortnite has now passed its 200 million player milestone. So there are 200 million players playing Fortnite.
I mean, give it another year or two, and the fad will end. We'll move on to the next thing.
I know. I don't. Fortnite has never appealed to me. Again, I don't play competitive shooters or competitive online. That's just not my thing. I like single player narrative-driven games, but that's just me.
It's a trend. I mean, it's just. I mean, everything has to be a battle royale. I mean, hell, even Fallout 76 is a lot like a battle royale now. It's a giant fucking map. It's even got the stupid fucking cargo drop care packages that have the flare, and there's a lot of elements.
Yeah.
That are common to all these games. It's the trend right now. So
but we will definitely go more into news next week. But we kind of wanted to play some more catch up on some of the bigger things that have happened in between E3 and now. But let's get into the main topic.
All right.
The state of PlayStation. There's been a lot of things that have been changing, a lot of things that have been going on with that. So let's go ahead and talk about that. The state of PlayStation. First, we kind of went through E3, and you, me, and
I think we both agreed that it was a very lackluster presentation.
Yeah.
And the only thing that will be even more lackluster than that will be just not showing up at all, which is the intention that they have for next year, where they're just going to completely bow out of E3
Yep.
And for the first time ever for them, and interesting choice. I think they should have some kind of presence, like even if they're not actually there, have some kind of stream or something, like do like a Nintendo, where they have like a stream of shit, and control the message that way. But to not have anything there is kind of weird. But then again, also from looking at it from another perspective, I mean, they kind of have the luxury of doing that. I mean, they're to kind of talk about the state of PlayStation 4. I mean, this is really its peak. I mean, it's in its prime. I mean, we're obviously moving to close to the end, the sunset of this generation.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's the system. I mean, it's over. I think 80 million, 82 million or so shipped.
At least over 75 million.
I think it's over 80 now, and
it's, oh, wow.
I mean, it's well on track. I'd say that to hit 100 million.
Yep.
It's been a spectacular success. It's in a really great position. It's making PlayStation Sony a lot of money. Even the VR, which was kind of a risk and experiment, that actually did kind of okay. I think like what 2 or 3 million, or was it 2 million now sold?
Yeah.
Something like that. So it's it's been pretty successful. So I mean, there's a lot of good things to talk about when you're looking at as objectively as possible at the state of PlayStation right now. There's been at least some attempts to right some wrongs. More recently, I mean, we talked about this before about the cross-platform cross-play abilities, which they've relented on their what was more of a very strict policy.
So back at E3, that was kind of one of the big things is that at E3, Nintendo announced Fortnite. You can play Fortnite on the Switch, and at the time, you couldn't play if you wanted to play Fortnite on your Switch. A lot of people had PlayStation, were playing it on PS4. You couldn't upload your same profile to the Switch.
You had to have a separate profile.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So you need to create a separate profile. So now, I believe it was in August or something, there were ads hitting where there was the famous survive together, play together, Xbox and Nintendo trailer where it was Minecraft and Fortnite, and that was a jab at PlayStation.
A lot of bad press for PlayStation. Mm-hmm. That's what caused them kind of to revert their policy.
Which I'm glad with. It doesn't, again, to me, I personally don't care because I don't play those kind of games, but I am glad that they did that.
Sooner or later, it'll affect the game that you enjoy, though. Next Assassin's Creed or something.
Who knows? But
who knows? But yeah, good. I mean, good. I think we can both agree. Good on them for doing that.
Yep.
And also something we've been clamoring for years now.
Oh God!
The ability to change our names, change our PSN IDs.
Yeah.
Way overdue. Considering that PSN came out back in 2006.
Yes, but there is a caveat with that. It's in beta right now. It's not you can't just do it.
It's not here yet.
Yeah. But they did announce we are working on it, and we're looking at it, and there are people beta testing. They've come to find out that people who have changed their PSN name, either you lose your trophies from your old account, or only the trophies that are able from the PS4 are transferred over. You pretty much lose your whole trophy list, your trophy account, if you change your name. There's a lot of different problems that have come into play.
I think we have to remember this is still early in the process.
Yeah,
so
that's why it's still in beta.
I don't want to judge it until the feature is fully implemented.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hopeful that when it is finally released, it won't be this catastrophe. Because I think, just thinking logically, if they release it like that in that form, that the form it is now, where can potentially cause all these problems and these glitches, then it doesn't work out well.
No,
they'd be better off not.
No, they'd be better off just keeping their name.
Yeah,
keeping it the way it is.
So I think let's be optimistic and say that hopefully.
Oh yeah, I'm not look. I'm just bringing it up. That's why it's in beta right now. They're testing it out. They're working on it. It's not fully out yet. So
I'm hoping by the time it's released, it's something similar to Xbox, where it's just pretty seamless. You just change your name and nothing is fucked up.
No, I agree.
So I mean, some really good, some positive news there. Like I said, changing their policy.
Yep.
Adding a feature that should have been there from the beginning with the name changing. Let's hope that works out. So I mean, some positive steps essentially. So,
Yeah, and then they also said that on PlayStation Now you can download your games instead of streaming them. You can actually download the game to and it's most of the library. It's a lot of PS4 games. And some PS3 games, but I know a lot of PS4 games where you download it to the system, just like on the Game Pass, where you download it to the system and then you just play it.
I was going to say, very kind of similar to the Xbox Game Pass, just a worse pricing structure. So.
But it is, mind you, the Game Pass is newer, but it has been stated that the PlayStation Now is outselling Xbox Game Pass. People are still buying it. People still want that.
Well, naturally. I mean, just because look at the market share of the consoles. It's not even close.
Mm-hmm.
It's well over the 50% point for PlayStation. I mean, just looking at the weekly sales, I mean, it's 3-1.
Yeah.
It's not even comparable. I mean, with the Switch out there now, at least there's some competition, but it was just a blowout before.
No, yeah. Yeah. So I'm very happy about that. And that's everything now.
You can almost say to kind of characterize it in some ways, they've not fully recaptured the glory of like the PlayStation 2 era, which was like you call like kind of if we were looking at PlayStation like a history of PlayStation, that would be like the golden Roman era.
That's the golden age.
Where civilization was born and PlayStation as we know it was born, and and I mean not to downplay PlayStation 1. But PlayStation 2 was just it was a cultural phenomenon.
Oh yeah,
it was dominant. It was everywhere. It wasn't even Nintendo and Xbox were just a tiny blip on the radar at the time.
Yeah.
And I mean we're kind of it almost feels like it's that same kind of spirit now.
Yeah.
It's never been better for PlayStation in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But still, I think an element of this is we want to look towards the future.
Yeah. So. Now that we kind of all caught up on what's been going on, now the most recent news that has come out from PlayStation is that Sony is pulling out of E3 2019.
Which I kind of hinted at. Yeah, I mentioned.
So they're not going to be there. They have never done this. They've always been in E3 ever since the PS1. They've been at E3 for the past 24, 25 years. And there will not be at E3 at 2019
very strange strategy.
I'm like, if that's the case, I'm like and everyone's saying this, it's like PS5, you're going to be announcing the PS5, because yes, E3 I would probably say is kind of losing its luster. They're really last in E3 2018 was, it kind of had its up, it was ups and downs. There wasn't Nintendo was really good, but that's because you had Smash Brothers and a few other stuff there. Xbox was good. One was Game of Show only because of a lot of their third party, and then them going, you want first party games? Fine. We gathered these 5 studios, so on and so forth. And then you had third parties, which but PlayStation's normally their press conference is bam, bam, home run. This last year it was we saw more Spider-Man, more Last of Us, more Death Stranding. The only game that really was new that we haven't seen was Ghost of Tsushima, which oh my god, I can't wait, and a few other things that were there. But the way that it was done and the way the press conference, it was
weird format.
Yeah, the format was weird, and I understand that PlayStation is trying to do more things, trying to do different things. The reason, according to Sony on the PlayStation blog, the reason they're pulling out is they want to try to interact with their audience more, and they feel that doing a normal press conference it's harder. So they may be going the way of Nintendo, the way of a Nintendo Direct. That might be the route that they might be taking.
Well, I think they need to do something. I mean, they need to communicate with their audience. They also canceled the PSX events as well too.
Yeah.
So I mean, I get it. I mean, maybe they want to move away from the traditional showcases, which kind of disappoints me because I like the traditional showcased. You know, even when they're bad, they're still kind of entertaining.
Yeah.
There's a pageantry to it. It's almost like what can I compare it to? You know, it's kind of like it's kind of like what the Oscars used to be back in like the 80s and 90s.
No,
It was like this huge thing, and like it was like we're seeing all the greatest of the great in one spot. You know, this is the entire industry.
Yeah.
You know, distilled down into a few days, and so I like that element of it. I mean, it's you know, call me an old man for that, I guess, but I like that kind of element of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think the point is they have to communicate with their audience in some fashion. Nintendo went in a different direction with that, and it seems like it's working.
Yeah. Which the Nintendo Direct gives them the ability to kind of have more control over their message. You don't have to worry about, you know, glitches on the gameplay demos or, you know, things not working or whatever.
Stupid shit that people say. And
Yeah.
Like that. Exactly. Yeah.
So like, it gives them more control, which and I'm fine with. If we get a PlayStation, like some sort of like, you know, PlayStation, you know, experience, but it's a live video or whatever. Like,
I mean, they gotta do something. I mean, it can't just be like. I mean, they can't let their competition.
I'm like,
look, spotlight.
I'm just going like you're just like right now. Xbox is on the rise, and people are like, ooh, like codename Scarlet. What is this Xbox Scarlet? Like people people are talking about that, even though like the PS4 is still outselling the Xbox One, and you know during the holidays, you know, Xbox has to do price cuts and so on and so forth, and there's all these different sales, but the PS4 is still outselling the Xbox One 2-1. Not 3-1, but at least 2-1 right now.
It's a slaughter. It's really been a slaughter this generation.
So you have they even Phil Spencer going, we're going to go ahead and talk about this new console to add to the Xbox family, Xbox Scarlet, and we have no idea what it is. We have been very quiet about it. We haven't heard anything.
Well, they have you know, their work cut out for them with that. I mean, because this isn't a prediction video of what the new systems are going to be like. But,
no.
I mean, just to go over, I mean, the reality of what we're experiencing right now. I mean, you know, momentum does matter. I think now more than ever, momentum is important because, you know, for all three of the big three now, when you have one of these consoles, you're buying into an ecosystem.
Yep.
You're buying into, okay, it's not just that, I have my PlayStation for these games or this, or that.
Mm-hmm.
You have your PlayStation Plus subscription. You have more and more now, your digital games are on there, which are, you know, theoretically could be used, you know, in the next generation if they're backwards compatible. So you're buying into this ecosystem, and that was part of why it was so hard for me at the beginning of this generation to come back to Sony after being gone for a generation at 360, because I had bought into the ecosystem of Xbox for years.
Yeah.
It was in you know going from my achievements to trophies. I mean, it was hard. It was actually like I was a couple of points where I'm like, I mean, you shouldn't, I guess, you know, belabor this point in your head and think this much about fucking which video game system you're playing, but still, it was like, man, I really don't want to give up my friends and all this shit here. It's like, man, I cannot. It was just I couldn't justify staying on that system.
No, I get you. So yeah, and like the reason why I wanted to go ahead and get a PS4 at the time was because of the games that were coming out, like Order 86 and Infamous Second Son, even though they didn't come out at launch.
I'm sorry, those were also disappointing too.
Oh no, I love those. I don't know what you mean. Order 86 was a fantastic first act and had a lot of potential. And Infamous Second Son is a really fun game. It's more Infamous, and that's what I wanted. So, but like regardless, like that was my decision making when I chose between Xbox and PlayStation. So I stayed within the ecosystem that I had from the last generation. So
yeah, I mean, looking ahead though, I mean, it's obviously like I was, you know, talking about the momentum, and you know that's gonna be a huge factor going forward.
Yeah.
But of course, I mean, like, you tend to err on the side more so of games and exclusives as a primary motivating factor in the buy system. I disagree with that. Respectfully disagree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it comes down to the price and.
No, I agree.
You know, there's various more, I guess, kind of obvious salient factors that go into it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people look at the price in the box. You know, they look at, you know, like I said, I think a big contributing factor to the success of the PlayStation this generation has just been kind of the momentum of it. You had their primary competitor basically, you know, kind of shit in the bed essentially. Nintendo, same thing. They were kind of nowhere to be found at the same time. So I mean, really, it was the PlayStation sort of existed in a vacuum.
Yeah, but then since that time, Xbox has been doing backwards compatibility. That was a big push for them. The Switch comes out and people are loving the Switch.
So Nintendo's back in the game. I'm glad you mentioned backwards compatibility because I think that's probably the single greatest opportunity right now for looking ahead, looking at the future.
Yeah.
And I saw rumors and rumblings that they were filing patents related to backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
Take those with a giant grain of salt, because we don't know 100% for sure what form that will take.
Yeah.
I think at a minimum though, I think it's safe to say that this theoretical PlayStation 5, I'm sure they're going to call it PlayStation 5 because that's the most generic name we can think of.
Well, I mean, it goes
if it's the pattern, right? So the PlayStation 5, we'll just call it that. I think it's safe to say it's going to have at least backwards compatibility with the PlayStation 4.
Yes.
Possibly with peripherals, maybe the VR.
Oh, they're not going to give up on the VR.
So I think it's safe to say it's going to have that. I think it's wishful thinking to think that they would do anything more than that.
One last thing is that PS5 would be a 4K Blu-ray player. I think you have two ways to go about this. Is that, and I'm trying not to have this become a prediction video for the PS5.
But it kind of has.
Well, shut up. It's kind of we're thinking about where is the future, what does the future hold for PlayStation? With them pulling out of E3 2019, this has to be their announcement of the PS5. There's no way. It makes no sense for them to leave E3 and give up that momentum and that, just give up the momentum they have to Xbox. Because Xbox is going, with this happening, Xbox and Nintendo are going to go, all right. I mean, even on Twitter, Xbox was kind of jabbing at PlayStation about oh man, I guess we won't see you at at E3 next year or whatever. And I'm like, wow. So they need to have something big.
So I mean, do we think that do they announce it before E3? I think after E3 is what I'm kind of leaning towards. But it's hard to say.
Well, they said that they're not going to be there in any capacity.
Or do we even see an announcement this year? Or this coming year?
I don't know. They can't just give up the whole year. They can't. There's got to be some reason they're pulling out of E3. Because I understand that E3 is it may be dying, but there's got to be a reason for it. There's no way that there's more we're not going to be E3. Mind you, all of the games that we saw from last year, there was really nothing new, and what do we have looking forward to next year? The only thing.
Here's an idea. Maybe the strategy here is, so E3 is dying slowly but surely. It's kind of dying in terms of its popularity. What if there's sort of a how can I describe it? What's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like a sort of an effect of being at E3, even you're sort of giving sort of a boost to your competitors, because it's you're lending credence to this event and popularizing this event because everyone's coming to look and see what your presentation, but also by virtue of it being E3, they're looking at other presentations as well too. What if you just you bow out of E3 just like they're doing, and maybe you do your own thing, and that way it's completely focused about you. You're not giving any kind of attention at all to your competitors. They have to kind of do their own thing, and if everybody's off doing their own thing, then the one that's going to get the most buzz and the most press is PlayStation by default because they're the market leader essentially. See what I'm trying to say?
Or because they weren't at the big events, so people are what are they doing?
Really, is it a big event now? I mean, because are many people going to be tuning into it now? That it's set PlayStation's not going to be there.
Because you have those hardcore PlayStation. I know my brother is I watch E3 for maybe a few third parties, but I watch it because of PlayStation.
Yeah, so it's maybe they skip E3 entirely, and it's less eyeballs watching Nintendo's presentation, it's less eyeballs watching Microsoft's presentation. So kind of looking at it from that strategic.
I mean, I guess.
But then again, the only hole in that here is then why get rid of your PSX experience and stuff like that.
Oh, mind you, they said that they weren't going to do it for 2018. They didn't say anything for 2019. They said it for this year.
So maybe next year.
Maybe PSX becomes a much bigger event. Because the reason why PSX like became a thing is because of their 20th anniversary. 20 years of PlayStation to celebrate the history of PlayStation. They had enough, this was within a year or two of the PS4 just coming out, so there was a lot of stuff that we haven't seen yet that they could tease.
I kind of like the idea of them sort of just doing their own thing and kind of just, taking the entire kind of media cycle for that week or months or weeks to come and just kind of capture all the attention there. Because with E3, I mean, it's kind of this competition to have the best show. We always talk about who wins E3.
Who wins E3?
Well, maybe it's a strange game. The only way to win is not to play. Maybe by not playing, by doing your own thing, then you get a lot more attention than you otherwise. Then you're not overshadowed.
And then the only people they're talking to is their own fan base.
Exactly. Then you don't have like what happened last year, where there's like kind of like, oh, this wasn't the greatest press conference, blah blah blah. Now it's gonna be like, well, they're doing their own thing, So it's like, I don't know. Maybe that's the strategy here. I don't.
Okay, because we're pretty much 5 years into the console cycle of that PlayStation and Xbox. Next year we will hit year 6, and every console generation has been about a 6-year time span. The only outlier was the PS3 and 360, and that was because of the recession and a lot of other outside forces that made it be at like an 8-year.
I think I found it. Let me see.
What?
What? That's where I was getting that line from. It's from an old Boys War games. It's that's the computer. It's like it was like super old. It was like Cold War era.
Oh, okay.
And it was about like this computer I think it had like control of like the nuclear weapons. And it comes to that kind of conclusion at the end of the movie. Like it's because every scenario it ran about launching nukes and everything like that, whatever, it would always be destroyed in a retaliatory strike.
Oh, it is.
So it's like, that's why it says strange game, only when he moves not. So that's what I was referencing there.
Okay.
I keep forgetting you're like a fucking, like, the Generation Z or whatever the fuck the new one.
No, I'm a millennial. I was born in 91.
That explains the unemployment.
Grace. Wait, what? Whatever. But anyway. There's got to be a big reason why they're doing it, and I think it's because they're going to announce PS5. I think we're 5 years into the console generation. Microsoft is already teasing the Scarlet, and now because of that, they're like, all right, we gotta reveal, or we gotta do something. There's gotta be something about the next generation. And there's already been like rumblings and rumors about like what processor is being used and patents and stuff like that. But I think the reason they're pulling out is it's a combination between them announcing the PS5 like they did back in 2013, 2012, 2013 I believe, 2013 when they had that New York event, the events in New York in February.
As a general rule, do you recommend pulling out?
Of E3? No.
In general?
Okay.
I'm
aware.
Yeah.
I have no idea what to do anymore.
That's what I would recommend in general. It's a good strategy. But I think Sony recognizes that. So.
Do you think that this event would happen if they're going to do an event? Do you think they would do it before E3 or after E3? And why?
I want to say after E3. And the reason why would be if they were to do it, why not just repeat the success of what we had before? We had, go back to the PlayStation 4. You had the announcement earlier in the year, in spring, and then that was a build up to E3 where we got everything.
That was the best conference they ever had.
Yeah, and it worked perfectly. So why not just repeat that?
So do it. So you're saying
the reason? So I think they're not going to repeat it because it's not ready to be revealed yet, or even hinted at yet. They couldn't do it, and have a full reveal at E3. So maybe we get an announcement after E3 2019 whether that's in 2019 or not. I want to lean towards yes. It's going to be sometime in 2019 because like you said, you can't go that long without having some.
No, you got to have
news.
You can't leave E3 unless it's some sort of big.
And we all know that it's. I mean, even though the PlayStation Pro's been out now for several years, so it's we're clearly at the end of a generation here. We think the traditional 5 or 6 year gen cycle. It's kind of weird because the generation before this was so long.
And mind you, the PS4, like these systems still have a lot of life left in them.
Yeah, and that's actually something that like I said, not a prediction video, but we're kind of getting that to that element. That's something I'm curious about because I wonder what the power jump is really going to be because we have this intermittent PS Pro and Xbox One X. We kind of have like a halfway generational upgrade.
Yeah.
So what's going to be? Is it going to be as dramatic of a power upgrade as from when we start?
Yeah, well, I don't think it's going to be power. I don't think we're going to be going from like 8-bit to 16 to 3D to whatever. I think it's going to be more about how we interact with these games. Hence the PSVR or these very different.
I'll say one thing. One prediction here, I guess you could say. I think it's fairly safe to say this. I think this next generation, this coming generation, PlayStation 5, Xbox Scarlet, whatever. I think this will be the last generation to have a system with a disk drive. I think it's going to switch.
I mean, I can see your point, but there are people like me.
I think Don Matrick's bold vision of the future will come true. He was just like 10, 15 years too early.
I mean, mind you, like the whole thing, like you're not wrong. Like at the time, we were mad about it.
I mean, look at physical sales. Look at how it's.
Well, like that, like mind you, no one buys CDs anymore. CDs are like, I mean, mind you, CDs are still being made, but you can't go into a Best Buy to find them.
It's for a tiny niche audience. It's sort of like vinyl.
Yeah.
It's sort of like what Blu-rays and movies have become. It's kind of become a niche, small thing. It's a fraction of what it used to be, and I think games, video games are kind of the last media that will experience that.
I think I would say
you still have physical games,
because
when we look at things like Limited Run, there is a demand for physical games, and I think everyone to some extent likes them. Obviously, we like collecting games. I tend to lean more towards collecting retro games. But I mean, there is something to be said about holding an item like that. But I think it's kind of become more of a niche thing. I think the general mass market will like they want the convenience of digital.
Yeah. No, you can just turn on your system and go to your library and then turn it on instead of like, go ahead and grab the game, open it up, and put it away. Like you don't have.
It sounds super late, but that's kind of what we've become.
Yeah,
and really, it is kind of nice. I mean, to just be like, okay, I'm gonna go from this game to this game. I don't have to drive to the store and pick up a copy of the game. It's already pre-downloaded. I can play it day one. It's like, why would I get a physical copy anymore? If I don't have any attachment to this game, I'm not collecting PlayStation 4 like you're collecting this stuff, then why bother? Why bother having?
No, I understand. Yeah.
I mean, it's like, oh well, you can sell it in return.
I don't.
But it's like still.
I think I would say that they're not going to get rid of discs because I think discs will always be usable. But like the way games are made is going to be more digital than physical. I think that's it. I don't think they will get rid of a disc drive because then you would be getting rid of people like me who would want to buy physical.
I think though. I mean, like it's just like the rumor. You heard the rumor about next year there might be like an Xbox that
a discless Xbox One. Yes.
I think it might be an option though because which we've seen before like the PSP Go and stuff like that. I think it's going to be an option because. It does save a lot of money. It saves a lot of the cost.
I get it. I get it.
It'd be like $100 cheaper.
I get it because when you go digital, all that money is going straight to the publisher and the developer.
No. That's beside the point. No, I don't give a fuck about that. It's when you remove the disc drive. The disc drive is an expensive component of the system.
Oh,
you take that out.
Okay.
Take the disc drive out, and you're knocking $80, $100 off the price. What if I said that that Xbox One, that was selling for $299, all of a sudden it's $199.
Yeah.
Because and you just have to buy your games digital.
Yeah, and that's in price.
Which you're cool with because you have Game Pass and digital sales and blah blah blah.
Yeah, which I mean, PlayStation is a really good place, and they have done some very good things, and they have done some mishaps like not jumping on the bandwagon of cross-platform play, but they have fixed that. They have done downloaded games on PlayStation Now. It's very odd they're pulling out of E3, which just, to me, that is blatant screams of we're ready for a PS5. We're ready to talk about it. We're ready to maybe not reveal it, but like talk about it. We're ready to like the February event. Here's the controller. Here, these are the specs or whatever it would be. But them leaving E3, there's gotta be a big reason for that, and it has to be the PS5. Has to be.
Yeah, I think they want to control the narrative. I think they like the idea of that. Hey, why give free publicity to Microsoft and Switch by legitimizing this event? Why don't we just do our own thing? Because we're the biggest, dog in town.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we just do our own thing to hell with these guys? And it's like I said, you can capture the audience that way.
Yeah, and also it's a way for, like PlayStation said, the whole the reason they're leaving is because they want to go ahead and have a closer relationship with their fan base, which it will be more possible with them just
a personal sexual relationship.
Okay, but with them leaving E3, because everyone's eyes is on everyone, with them leaving E3 and having their own PlayStation experience or whatever they will call it, their own PSX, then they can pretty much.
That's what I've been saying.
Yeah,
I think that could be a motivating factor for it. But I think we'll have to table the conversation for now because I think the next time that we can really kind of deep dive into this more is when we actually get some legitimate, tangible information.
But
because right now it's all just speculation and rumors.
Yes. So to wrap it all up, the state of PlayStation. What do you think?
Like I said, it's I wouldn't quite say it's in the golden age of the PlayStation 2, but it's damn close. It's in a great spot coming to the end of this generation. It's recaptured its former glory from the somewhat dark days of the PS3, or the kind of roller coaster I should say the PS3 was. Is it a perfect system? No, but there's been genuine efforts to fix even minor problems with the system.
Yeah.
Really, the only thing it's lacking, I would say, in comparison to its competitors, is a solid backwards compatible, something comparable to what Xbox has there. But otherwise, it's a fantastic system. I have no regrets in coming back to it for this generation. I have no desire really to switch to be more like an Xbox or anything like that. And that would be a real challenge. There'd have to be a kind of a colossal mistake at this point for them to on the scale of what we saw before with Xbox One's initial launch. So it's an optimistic time to be a PlayStation fan.
Oh yeah,
it's times are good, I would say. I think you'd agree.
Oh yeah, the state of PlayStation is fantastic. I'm very happy with it. I'm happy that they are doing the cross-platform play for games like Fortnite, the beta that they're doing for that. I'm happy that they're doing some changes to PlayStation Now you can download them. That's fantastic. Their games I've always been very good, especially within the past 2 to 3 years. Their exclusives have been going up for Game of the Year. They've been part of the Game of the Year talk, and especially this year.
And even though I'm not usually a fan of exclusives in general, as just a general rule, at least I have a couple of things that I can kind of latch onto now. Namely God of War, which I thought was a dormant franchise that we were just not going to see again. But they proved that they brought it back with a vengeance,
and it's ready for a franchise.
It's fantastic, and it's got many years left in it. I think. We might have possibly another game in the Shadow Colossus vein coming up eventually here. So there's some things to look forward to. And even just the kind of having a respect and reverence for their past content. The PlayStation Classic. I don't think it's a great device, but at least it is showing that they are thinking back on their library and they understand that aspect of it, and also just things like the Medieval remaster.
Oh, like the Age of Platformers are back. Like Crash Bandicoot is back. Spyro just came out. Medieval has been announced. Like finally, officially been announced.
So I mean, there's like Medieval being the one exclusive in there.
Yeah.
But I mean, they have this kind of reverence for some of their past great franchises.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, it's in a good spot. It's gonna be really honestly fascinating to see how this next generation begins and unfolds. It's kind of an exciting time in a way for that to see. I mean, I wish it was kind of middle of this time next year, so we knew exactly what was going on.
I know, but I guess we have to wait and see for that. But guys, we would love to hear what you guys have to say, and also I would like to hear what you guys have to say in the eye above our head, wherever it would be on screen, wherever it would be. I want to know why you think that that PlayStation left, are pulling out of E3. Do you think they left E3 because they're announcing a PS5? Yes or no? I would love to hear what you guys say.
Or just because pulling out's a great strategy in general.
I can't even handle you, Spectre, but okay. But anyway, please let us know in the comments and below what you would personally have to say. What if you agree with me, if you agree with Spectre, anything like that. We always appreciate that. So yeah, so that's our main topic. Kind of a bit of a deep one, a long one, but we got a lot of catching up to do today.
Definitely.
So, do you have anything else for me, Spectre?
No, that should be it. Yeah, like I said, it's it kind of catches us up here, I think. So
yeah,
it's because it's been a while since E3. So
yeah,
But yeah, no, excited to see where Sony goes in 2019.
I agree. I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to 2019. But first, we have to go ahead and get those Game of the Years out of the way first.
Exactly. Yeah. It's always fun.
So there we go. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Please go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you are not already subscribed. Press the subscribe button down there. Press the bell button also. That way, every single time we put up a video, you know that we put up a video. Go ahead and follow us at facebook.com/The Brotherhood of Geeks. You can also follow me and the channel on Twitter at Dualshock'd BOG. That's the name of this show, BOG. How about you, Spectre?
I have a Twitter as well, and I post on it on occasion, I guess you could say. It's at Spectre0451. There's underscore 0451.
Okay.
Shows you how often I use it, right? That's the way as well.
There you go. So that way you can go ahead and talk to me or Spectre about that kind of stuff. Awesome. Thank you so much. Again, I'm Brett J. Rasmussen.
And I'm...
Aren't you Spectre?
You just like put me on the spot here.
Ha-ha! That's what I like to do.
Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah, not Spectre.
So, I'm Brett J. Rasmussen. That's Spectre. And as always, live to play, play together. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.